Hi everyone, welcome to STEMazing. Lovely to see those of you who are joining us live, and hello to those who are watching back on the recording. I'm Alex Knight. I'm the founder and CEO of STEMazing, which is a not-for-profit social enterprise all about trying to inspire young people with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths. And we use female role models to do that so that young people get to see women in STEM as normal and something that therefore STEM is accessible for everyone to get into if they want to. So today we've got a very brief session just to do an introduction to what STEMazing is and how you as teachers and your schools and your lovely children can all get involved in what we're doing. So I've got a few slides that I'm going to share just so that I can talk you through that. And if you've got any questions at any point, feel free to put those in the chat or voice up, that's fine, no worries. So STEMazing, as I said, we're a not-for-profit. We're an organization that's been running since 2019. And we do lots of fun, engaging, free STEM sessions for primary school children, predominantly around age 7 to 10 is our sweet spot, really. And these are all led by women in STEM role models that we train so that they can be more supported, empowered, and inspiring as role models for the young children. We do a lot of our delivery online, so that women anywhere in the country or even anywhere in the world, for that matter, can be visible role models for primary schools. But we also do in-person STEM engagement in schools as well when we have STEM role models local to those schools. So I'm going to use this session to do a quick intro to me, intro to the team in the background of STEMazing, tell you more about why we do what we do and what it is that we do in more detail and how you can get involved. Okay, so quick intro to me. I'm an engineer. That's my background. I worked in engineering industry for nearly 20 years. I'm a mechanical engineer, so there are many different types of engineering. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm also a fellow of the Institution of Mechanical Engineers and the Women's Engineering Society. And I've been a STEM ambassador for longer than I can remember, ever since university, and absolutely love doing STEM outreach in schools. And I think one of the things that I love to teach our women role models is how beneficial doing STEM outreach is for them as individuals, because it was one of the things that helped me build my confidence and my public engagement skills. And I see a lot of women who I mentor in STEM who are lacking confidence, lacking self-belief. And sometimes, to be honest, being in the minority as a woman in these industries can be hard. So it's really good to find ways you can build your confidence and build your ability to speak up in a meeting, for example, when you are the only woman in the room. And so STEM outreach goes both ways. It benefits the women as the role models, and obviously, hopefully it benefits the children and the teachers as well. So I'm a big advocate for that. And I say that me being a recovering wallflower, somebody who used to be very shy and anxious and wouldn't speak to anyone and hated the spotlight and the limelight, now I embrace that opportunity to inspire others. And STEM outreach was one of the things that led to me developing those skills, and then ended up things like founding STEMazing, winning awards, going on TV, all that kind of stuff. And I'm also a visiting professor at a university down in London. And I wear lots of hats and do lots of different things. But one of the things I love the most is doing STEM outreach and supporting more women to be those role models that our young people need. And we also have a fabulous team behind the scenes in STEMazing. So on the call with us today, we've got Sue Dodds and Michelle O'Donnell. So Sue, can you just say hi and do a quick intro?
Hello. So I've been with STEMazing for coming up a year. I am actually a secondary trained ICT teacher and spent most of my career up in Alnwick as head of ICT there. I'm the one that will be on the info account. So if you need any help, and I'll be looking after the schools, our schools that are taking part this time, I'll be looking after you. So if you need anything, you can email me or give me a call on my work phone. And I'll be the one who sorts all your resources out and sends them through to you and everything. So
Perfect.
that's it.
Thanks so much, Sue. It's always good to put a face to a name, because you'll be engaging with Sue quite a lot if you take part in STEMazing. And Michelle, can you do a quick intro?
Hi, I'm Michelle. I am a former primary school teacher, and I've also got a little bit of experience working with careers education in secondary schools as well. So I've got a good idea of, the different types of skills that we're trying to promote within primary school, those benchmarks and E's and O's we're trying to hit, but also where the future lies as well, what the progressions are going into secondary, and then apprenticeships, early careers and things like that as well. I'm predominantly working on another project, but I like to keep my hands in every pie and see how everything's going on. So I'm really excited to work with you all.
Brilliant. Thanks, Michelle. That's great. So yeah, just good to put faces to names. And if you get involved in STEMazing, it's very likely you'll be in touch with Sue or Michelle. And we also have Jesha as well, who's one of our core team members, but she can't be on the call tonight. So STEMazing, what do we do? Well, we really have these two core themes: STEMazing Women, which has come from my experience as a woman in STEM, knowing what helps empower and support other women in STEM, and also STEMazing Kids, where over the years, through my own experience, but also working with other teachers and other STEM ambassadors, we've developed a portfolio of really fun, engaging, hands-on activities that link science and maths, the basic principles around that, to real life examples and real world application that we use in areas like engineering. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to introduce young people to how you apply these things that you're learning in school to the real world, and do it in a really fun, engaging, interactive way where every child will take part in a STEM experiment or activity using really simple resources that they can then make and test and take home with them, and continue to have the conversation at home with their families about it. And we have our STEMazing 3 C's, which are be curious, be creative, and be courageous. And we try and practice those 3 C's in everything we do. And that makes up our rainbow inclusive logo. So we are very much focused on diversity and inclusion. We try to make sure our activities are inclusive and accessible. And obviously that feeds into our passion around diversity and inclusion in STEM as well, because we still have a long way to go in industry with regards to gender representation, gender diversity in STEM, with only 24% of the workforce in the UK being women in STEM. And when you look at the E in STEM, engineering, it's only 16%. And this is absolutely not enough. And we know so much research now that shows that diversity drives innovation, and we're in the business of innovation in STEM. So we absolutely need more diversity. And we've done a lot of sort of looking at the research around how we can have the best impact with that in STEMazing. And we know that because those gender stereotype biases start so young, if we can engage young people with visible, diverse role models, that can help challenge those stereotypes. So that's why we target primary schools with our activities in STEMazing Women. And also we want to engage and influence young boys as well, who will grow up to be men in STEM industries possibly. And we want to try and tackle that unconscious bias to help that culture of inclusion as people grow up and have less unconscious bias around women in STEM. And so that's why, looking at all the research, we chose to operate in the way that we do, where we target young people, but children who are of an age where they can be fairly independent with cutting and sticking and understanding the kind of concepts that we're talking about. So that's how we decided on our target window of around 7-year-olds to 10-year-olds. So if you look at some of our STEMazing Women role models, we've had over 350 women that we've trained so far, all around the UK and some internationally as well. We really try and have a focus on diversity more than just gender. So we're really proud to say that 35% of our role models are in ethnic minorities, or global majority, as I prefer the term. We also have a high number of our women who have registered disabilities, be that neurodiverse or physically diverse, and also other elements of diversity. We try and ensure that we're bringing a really amazing bunch of women to be able to engage with different schools. So we're really proud of that, and we're growing that all the time. So in our programs, we train about 50 women at a time, and we do our programs twice a year. So that's about 100 women a year we're able to train to be more confident, visible role models, and grow their tool set of fun, interactive STEM activities they can do. And then for our Amazing Kids activities, as I said, a lot of them are online, and we've tailored the activities to be able to run them really easily and effectively online. So we're trying to make your job as the teacher as easy as possible as well, so that they're very simple activities needing simple resources. We post you the resources that you need that are above and beyond things that you're likely to have in school anyway. So we do expect you to have things like paper, scissors, colouring pens, but we will provide anything else you need, like wooden skewers, or if you need some things like templates, we'll send you the electronic templates to print out. If you need masking tape, we'll send masking tape. We send blue tack. We send, they're very simple things, but recognizing that not all schools have them or can provide them. So we post them to you free of charge, depending on the STEM activities you're going to be doing. And we normally run either 3 or 4 STEM activities with a school or with a class, so that every child will get to interact with their role model at least 3 times, doing 3 different fun STEM activities, and they learn different STEM concepts and principles in those different activities. And the reason that we have a series rather than just a one-off is we want the children to build a bit of a relationship with the role model and vice versa. And we want the children to really embed their awareness and appreciation around STEM rather than just having a one and done approach. So we really, from a teacher's perspective, like I said, we try and make it easy so that if it's online, your Amazing Women role model would send you the Zoom link, we'd send you the resources in advance, and you'd be able to log into that call, and the woman on the big screen would step the children through the activity, and they can ask her questions and things. But obviously you're in the room to help those children that might need any help, and for safeguarding and things like that. So there will always be you as the teacher in the room, but our role model will lead the session. And the sessions are normally about 40 minutes to 50 minutes, so less than an hour for the whole session. And that includes time for the children to play with what they've made and test it and ask questions. And things like the kind of sessions that we run are things like you can see in some of these pictures, things like straw rocket blasters, learning about forces and laws of motion and linking it to space. And then we've got things like Amazing Structures, where we learn about the importance of shape in design, and how by changing the shape of something, it can significantly change its properties, even though it's the same material, and how we use that basically maths in the real world to help us build strong or tall or, you know, whatever buildings. And then we do things like potential energy poppers, where we make a little energy transfer device and talk about different types of energy and energy transfer and energy transformation, and why it's important that we understand energy in the world for all of our real life energy needs. So we have a whole range of different Amazing Kids activities, and we normally sort of give you an option of a smaller number, a smaller section, and you can decide if you want 3 or 4 of them, depending on how much you can fit into your school schedule. If the women are able to get to your school in person, because we've matched them up geographically close, then that's great. They've got the option of coming in person to do one or more of the activities. But we can't guarantee that because we never know exactly where the role models will apply from and where your school is based and applying from. So we do the best job we can to match those up closely, but it may be that your sessions will be online, or some might be online, some in person, or maybe all will be in person. But considering that our Stamazing Women role models, most of them work full-time as well. So for them to do an online session is also very efficient and allows them to fit it into their busy work schedules. So there's lots of advantages of doing it online. We do recognise there are challenges as well, but we want to work with you to make it as smooth and effective as possible for your children. And having done this now quite a lot, as in we've done over 100,000 Stamazing Kids experiments to date, the majority of them being online, we know that that does work well because the activities are so engaging themselves. So I've got a little video to show you here, and then I'm going to give you a bit more detail about how to apply, and then I'm happy to take any questions. So I will just make sure I'm sharing my sound, and then I'll share this quick video. So have a think about any questions you've got, and then you can ask those. Right, so as you can see there, from a school perspective, it's free for you because we are supported by partners, which tend to be organisations, STEM organisations in industry, who pay us to run our business, basically, to be able to offer the service that we provide. And we get their women in their organisations involved in what we do, and therefore it allows us to offer this out to schools completely free. So we run 2 programs a year, as I said. One is open for registration right now. So we open for registration from schools in January and June. Then we do some down selection based on free school meals or another indication of areas of deprivation, so that we're making sure we provide the free opportunity to schools that need it the most. And then the actual training for the women would happen after that, and then they will be ready to deliver their STEM sessions into your school in either June or November. So that's the kind of time frame of when registration is and when the STEM sessions will actually happen, so they can be planned into your timetable. And as I said, we have 3 or 4 live STEM sessions that will happen for each class. And those will be on different weeks. So normally we have that month period, we'll have a STEM activity each week if you're going to have 4, for example. You don't have to pay, and you also get the free resources, apart from some stuff that we expect schools to have anyway. But if some of that is a barrier, then please let us know. The online delivery is our normal go-to expectation, but if you get in-person delivery as well, then that's great. Every activity comes with an electronic completion certificate that can be sent home for every child that tells them or reminds them of the key STEM messages linked to that activity they did, which they'll obviously take the thing they made home as well, but have this completion certificate, and it reinforces our STEMazing 3 Cs and how they've practiced those in that session too. And really, from your perspective as the teacher, what we require from you is your help initially getting organized and getting the dates in the diary, which will be a bit of liaison between us and between your STEMazing role model. So we really need you to be responsive about that, either by email or phone, whatever works for you, so that we can get those booked in. And then also we do have a pre and a post engagement survey, which we really need you to fill out. They're only short surveys, but it helps us gather important data that we need, and also feedback for continuous improvement. And if you're able to take any photos or tag us on social media with your activities that have happened in your classroom, obviously with safeguarding permitting, with sharing photos, but if that is possible, it really helps us, because that's the kind of evidence that our partners love to see to continue funding these activities so they can be free for you. So if you are interested in finding out more and applying, then you can either follow that QR code there, or you can go to our website, which is stemazing.co.uk. And if you go to the Inspiration Academy page, you'll be able to get a flyer with a bit more information and the link to register as well. So that's all I had to say. Michelle, just in case I've forgotten anything, was there anything that you think needs to be added to any of that?
No, I can't think of anything.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. So yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you are super busy, and there's never a good time to try and get teachers onto a call because you are so busy and you do such an amazing job. So thank you so much. And I just hope that STEMazing can supplement what you already do in the classroom to inspire your children and give them those diverse role models that they need to see to raise their awareness and aspiration of potential opportunities for them in STEM in future, and sow the seeds of STEM young, so that hopefully they can continue with that and take that forward with them into secondary school and pursue those subjects and go on into STEM. But even if they don't actually go into STEM themselves, we really just need to raise the profile of STEM in society, full stop. So we're hoping that our role models across the country can help do that and really empower themselves at the same time as inspiring all the young people. So thank you so much. I will stop for any questions at all. If you've got any, feel free to put them in the chat, or otherwise just feel free to ask away.
No questions. Thank you, Alex. Very interesting.
Fantastic. All right. Well, if you do have any questions at all, feel free to drop us an email at the info account. You saw Sue earlier. She'll be the one picking up and responding to that email, or follow us on social media and you can see the kind of things that we're doing. And yeah, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and hope that we get to engage your children very soon. Thanks, everyone.